All right, nose angle cheat sheet. Remember back to school when you would write on your hand. N for neutral, D for down, U for up. So I have the camera kind of at this 11 o'clock position where 12 o'clock is where I'm throwing. So the hit point is going to happen somewhere around here, and I'm throwing that way. The disc is going to pivot out to go towards 12. So in order to throw nose neutral, I want to be swinging this N part of the back of my hand towards where I'm throwing. And if I want to throw nose up, I'm going to be swinging this U part more where I'm throwing. And if I want to throw nose down, I'm going to swing this D part. Kind of imagine you're trying to show the letter to the camera, but you're throwing to the right of the camera. For nose up and down though, you kind of want to be tilting in that direction towards the end of the throw. So it's kind of like I'm throwing that N towards the camera and then I want to throw down, so I'm going to then show that letter D to the camera as I get close to the hit. Nose up, I'm throwing like nose neutral, and then I'm going to try to show that U towards the end, tilt it. Also for the nose neutral and nose down throws, I'm going to be throwing up a little bit over the camera, so the camera is always going to be able to see under it. And if you throw really high with nose neutral, it can still stall pretty easily. For the nose up throws, throwing kind of down a little bit towards the camera, a little bit under the camera. The higher you're throwing, the more important nose down is, and if you're throwing nose up, the more you have to throw down so that it doesn't just, completely go way too high and stall right away. All right, nose neutral. If you're thinking about getting a tech disc, I have an affiliate link in the description. Nose down. So you can see on that one, I didn't fully show the letter D here to the camera. I moved in that direction, but negative 3.8, and that's a good nose down, but in terms of like degrees that you can see, negative 3.8 degrees is a very small amount. So where where I've placed the D and the U are both exaggerated, which you often need to do, exaggerate in order to actually get yourself to do some of what you're trying to do. So I'll show a more extreme nose down throw so it's easier to see the difference from neutral to very nose down or extremely nose down. All right, so even though it was quite a bit more nose down, you can't see it a lot more easily actually, because I just end up throwing a higher launch angle because that's what you need to do if you throw more nose down. So for example, if I show that letter D there to the camera, but then I swing up higher, now it just looks like it's the back of my hand that you're seeing. I'll try to throw a very nose down one lower so it's easier to see. Also, I'm not worried about my hyzer angle right now. You can control it independently from the nose angle with your posture, more hyzer, more anhyzer. But when I throw higher, I tend to throw on some more hyzer because a lot of times you're throwing a high, wide hyzer or a spike hyzer. All right, so it's actually a lot harder for me to throw lower and extra nose down, because this is something else you can think about and feel when throwing nose down. As you tilt to show that letter D in this direction, you'll feel your fingers coming up under the disc. And when you're throwing upwards, you have more leverage to feel that with. Whereas when you're throwing down or lower, I don't feel as much leverage to actually get it more nose down. And the opposite is true for nose up. Tilting to show that U, you can see my fingers are like coming away from underneath, and you can then feel the thumb pressing down as you do that. All right, nose up example. The cool thing about this is it works on all angles, hyzer, flat, and hyzer. I already did hyzer, well, nose down. I tilted the camera now on an anhyzer angle, so you'll see that I still tilt the same way to get it nose down. So you can imagine something angled on the angle you're throwing, anhyzer or hyzer, and you're still tilting in the same way relative to that hyzer anhyzer plane. The camera angle is not ideal here. It's looking up under the hand too much, so you're always going to see more of the bottom of the hand. Nose up, Annie. Nose down on extra hyzer. When I first started this throwing session, I was doing the nose neutral, and I was getting like 2 degrees nose up. So it actually feels like I have to do a small nose down motion to get it nose neutral.